YouTube, Paul Phillips here with Patek Photography and Gear Review. So we're kicking off 2013 with a review of the Yongnuo Speedlite YN-560. This is version 3. This is the second Yongnuo product that we've purchased. And I want to say right off of the bat, just kind of give a big thank you to a lady named Grace Zhang at thephotogadget.com. Being here north of Toronto, many of you might be like us. You're wondering, you know, where's the best place to purchase Yongnuo products? Where am I going to get the best price? That kind of thing. And so there seems to be a wide, huge range of prices on Yongnuo products. I'm not sure what's going on. Yongnuo Canada's website has this Speedlite listed at $160. We purchased it from thephotogadget.com, a Chinese website seller, and it was $82 delivered to our doors. Mind you, it took 3 weeks to get here, but that's not really a negative because, I mean, I've seen stuff come from Amazon.ca or Amazon take 3 weeks to get here. So if you're looking for a place to purchase Yongnuo products and you can buy with confidence, I would say thephotogadget.com is pretty good. And the thing I liked about it, or the thing that gave me a little bit of confidence to purchase from them, is the owner, a nice lady named Grace Zhang, speaks English. So she was able to converse back and forth on the email with me. I had questions about Yongnuo products and a bunch of other questions. And she was really great, answered all my questions. I placed the order. She got the order in the mail right away. And 3 weeks later, almost 3 weeks to the day on Valentine's Day, this Speedlite showed up. And so part 2 of this video is going to be, we're going to take a look at this Speedlite. I'll give you the ins and outs. You can decide for yourself whether you want to purchase. Okay, part 2, here we go. So the package itself showed up on our doorstep in a box about like so, packed to the wazoo with bubble wrap. So I was impressed with that. I mean, I got here in one piece, no issues. The box itself, you've seen these on YouTube reviews before, straightforward. Pop it open. Nice black carry case. Open the case. There's your little crow's foot stand for the Speedlite to sit on. Slide it in like so. $1/4 on the bottom to go on the top of your light stand. This is our first experience with Yongnuo products, and so right away I'm comparing it to our SB600 Speedlite, which it absolutely dwarfs. So looking at it and considering that we paid $82 for this thing, holy cow, I'd run out and buy another one in a heartbeat. The build quality from first look is fantastic. Like, all the screens were, you know, covered with little plastic, sticky plastic covers on them. Pull them off, away you go. I've heard people say that maybe the earlier versions of these products were a little bit cheap on the build quality or something, but this certainly isn't the case with this 560 version 3. I'm quite impressed with this. So you have your diffuser card on the top, your bounce card behind it, which is bounce card, something the SB600 doesn't have. Although keep in mind the SB600 is what was released 6 years ago, something like that. So, you know, I have to keep it real, so to speak. The movement of the head, I guess, if you will, doesn't feel cheap. It's solid. There's good detents on it. So, you know, if you pop it down, turns all the way around this way, 90 degrees the other way. Which is going to be more than anything we're going to need for the shoots that we do. Turn it on is very simple. Just hold the button down. Has a couple of little audible notes when the unit turns on. And I'll go through the buttons in a close-up version with you in a second. But overall, so far, like, I don't see anything to be disappointed about for what we paid for this thing. Let's just take the foot off here. Move that out of the way. We'll turn the Speedlite off. On the side here, the battery door pops open. It feels solid. It locks down. No issues there. I've just got 4 Enna loops in here. They're well marked as to positive and negative. Just pop them in, straightforward stuff. On the other side of the Speedlite, there's a rubber cover here. So you've got a PC sync port, and you've also got a port if you're going to run a battery pack off of this, which we may do at some point in the future. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Nice rubber cover like the Nikon pads on their cameras. It goes back into place, no issues. It also has the infrared sensor on the front of the Speedlite. So my first impressions of this Speedlite is, wow, I'd go out and buy another one for sure. Okay, so let's take a close-up look at the functions on the LED. Okay, so just in case anybody was wondering, the version 3, the YN-560 comes with a decent instruction manual. First half is in, I'm not sure if it's traditional Chinese or Mandarin, but the first half of the manual is in Chinese, and then the second half of the manual is in English. And see if we can find you, there's a good sample description of the LED display for you. And the instructions leave a little bit to be desired, but because the Speedlite is so intuitive to use, I would say it's quite satisfactory to get you up and running. It covers everything you need to know, so there you go. The Speedlite itself, LED display on the back, so maybe we'll just touch on the front here. Your radio indicator is down here. You can't see it behind the red glass, but then your infrared indicator is this little module right here. So if we turn the Speedlite around, let's power it up. Layout of the buttons, I think, is pretty good. You have a radio indicator button bottom left here, a pilot light. So let's start from top left and we'll just work our way through. Okay, there's your illuminator button. If I hold this for 2 seconds, there's a little music note top right that comes on or goes away. If I hold it for 2 seconds again, your audible function is turned back on again. Your mode button here switches between manual and multi-mode. If you want to get into the custom settings, you hold both buttons, and then you can toggle through a whole plethora of different settings here. There's your RF603, RF602. So we're using the 603, so we just set it. And then just wait a couple of seconds and it'll switch back to the main LED panel. And you're back in business. Okay. Next button over puts you into S1 mode, which will fire your Speedlite on the pre-flash if you're using a master Speedlite on TTL. S2 will fire on the actual flash of the Speedlite. And the buttons down the bottom here, straightforward if you want to control the power of your Speedlite. And in your custom settings, you can change from increments of 1/3 to 0.5 if you want. That's totally up to you. You can go into the custom settings and make that change. So there's back to your radio control again. And if you want to change the channels, I believe it's these two buttons here. And you'll notice that your channel 3 is flashing, and then you can just now toggle through all 16 different possibles here. And you notice that channel 3, which is where our RF603s are set, when I go from 2 to 3, it automatically configures the dip switches, so it's not one extra step you have to do. It does it automatically. And then once you've got your setting, just press the button and she's locked in. Okay, and so I think zoom is left and it's straightforward. And what else do we have left here? Okay, so in the radio control mode, I'm just going to reach over and grab our RF603, and you can see me pressing the button. And as soon as I hit the button on the radio control, the indicator light comes on. So I really think that for the price that we paid for this Speedlite, it's pretty darn hard to beat. I mean, all of the functions that you get, it's not a TTL Speedlite by any means. It's for manual strobist work. But it does do the little infrared thing with your master flash on TTL, so that's kind of cool. So there you go. I think that we're going to get great service out of this Speedlite, and we're looking for good things from it. And so let's move on. So one last little thing I wanted to show you, and that is if you've got your Speedlite mounted on your camera, you're set in TTL mode here, straightforward stuff. I mean, we can fire the flash. if you set your Yongnuo to S2 mode, okay, so it's going to pick up off of the flash of your master flash here, and let's give it a try. There you go. So even though this doesn't work in TTL mode, it'll still fire based off of the signal from the master flash. For a Speedlite that we only paid $80 for, that's a pretty good value no matter how you slice it. So there you go. Okay, so last but not least, I just want to give a shout out again to Grace Zheng at thePhotogadget.com for all her help. If you're interested in purchasing from a retailer in China, a web-based retailer anyway, I would say thePhotogadget.com is a place to go. I'd be a little bit leery about spending more than $100 or $150 because, you know, 3 weeks to get here, something wrong with it, you have to ship it back. But for a $100 purchase like a Speedlite like this, I would say go ahead and do it with confidence. No real issues there. And I hope the review's been helpful. We've got some other camera bag reviews coming up shortly, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and like us. Bye for now.